This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Gerasch and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
Hi, I'm Tony Gerasch.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech. All right, so today's going to be a conversation about CMMC, and I'm going to have a conversation with Ryan because as a company, we are going to try to become, or we are going to become CMMC certified. So what that means is that as a company, we are going to work towards that certification to make it easier for our clients that do work with, Department of Justice or DOD. I'm sorry, I say Department of Justice, but the government basically, right? To make it easier for that to for them to hire us.
Yeah. Well, it's also going to make it easier in their process, right?
Yeah, in their process.
You know, because they're going to be asking, like, what are these tools that are installed on your computers, right? And, that's our managed service provider. Well, that managed service provider is going to be a part of that scope, too,
right.
In scope of some sort, to make sure that their tools are compliant, FedRAMP, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. So we're hoping to make it easier for people that want to obtain our services to also get CMMC certified.
Yeah, so as a service provider, what is the rules on it? The rules kept changing. Do you think as the MSPs are going to be required to be CMMC certified to work with these people that need that, or are they not?
No. As of right now, no, we would not be required to be certified. But the reason we're going to do it goes back to just to make it easier for the clients that we have that want to be or need to be CMMC certified, and also the ones that want to be and obtain our services for them.
Yeah. And from another standpoint, if we do this, it's just another framework that we can align with, right? So, if right now we align with the CIS framework, right? So now we can align with the CMMC framework, and it's just another framework that makes us more secure.
Yeah. Hey Siri, what does CMMC stand for? She probably won't tell us.
CMMC stands for Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification.
There we go. Fancy. Oh, thanks for the...
So in this, Ryan, I know that we've been working on it. It's been a little bit accelerated. I mean, what's your goal? When do you want us to pay the money to start getting tested to see if we are certified? When?
Well...
Give us some dates. What do you think you want to do this?
For us, it's not as difficult as, say, a regular business that needs to get CMMC that deals with what's called CUI or controlled unclassified information.
Yeah.
So for us, I wanted to do it by March.
Okay, so...
But I don't know because, it's going to be getting that certifier, that C3PAO to come and certify us is going to be like...
That might be the hard part, right? Because they have bigger fish than us.
Exactly, but I think we're going to be ready to go and have someone come in and do that for us by then is my goal.
So, yeah, and so as you're going through this and you're working with a coach, right, or somebody.
Yes.
And where are we falling deficient? What are the things that you guys have talked about where, hey, we're going to have to invest some money in this to I think you mentioned something about doors or access to the building. Why don't you go over a little bit about that? Because it's not just computers, right?
No.
So this whole certification is not just for IT. It's everything.
Since we follow like that CIS framework, IG2, it's not going to be that difficult for us. And I don't think there's going to be a heavy lift on buying new equipment as much as I thought in the beginning, because I thought we had to have like FIPS certified equipment. Which is an encryption model. I couldn't tell you what FIPS mean. Maybe John could bring it up on the screen. But it's gonna be time. We gotta document a lot, create a lot of policy. But the some of the stuff like you said, doors. So we got our lock policy here is pretty like we lock our doors. Everything's locked, but there's key holders within the company. NIST 800-171 says like if a key holder were to leave, you have to rekey all your locks. Like that's a lot to do. So I'm thinking about taking all keys away from only key holders like owners, us two, and then having everyone else change the locks out so that we could do like the taps to get in or something like that. So we could just put it on their mobile phone. And then when they leave, we just turn that off and it's done.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Are there any other things that are on the physical layer of security that we need to do?
I think some changes to our wireless access points
Okay.
will come into play. I don't know if we'll have to buy new ones. Our access security at our doors, we got to think about our satellite office, how we're doing that. What security we have on that, which we never really discussed. So there's things to talk about there.
Yeah. So now other building might have to put a security alarm system in there or some, access that can be stopped. When it comes to the software, what do we have to do? Like, is the software that we use going to meet the threshold that CMMC requires?
That's a great question.
Our Threat Locker, our Huntress. I know Huntress has something. Threat Locker, I think, has something too. I think they've been approved.
Threat Locker's FedRAMP certified, and they're actually called what's in the market, which means companies that need to be CMMC could actually go and get in and see Threat Locker stuff in this market. I think it's what's called the market, the marketplace. So they've been great. Huntress was great. Some of the other ones said they're going to get FedRAMP certified. I'm not going to say their name because they are lagging a little bit behind. So we may have to look at other things. We may have to put our CMMC clients in other portals that are FedRAMP certified.
Okay.
So we may have to get new tools just for that to keep them in their own bucket.
Keep them in their own bucket. See, so that's another thing, right? So all these things add cost, obviously. And if you're a service provider that wants to do this kind of work, you have to charge more, right? For this, you have to charge more for the services. And then, how about employees? Do we have anything special with employees? I mean,
we have to up our training quite a bit because there's going to be training required from the DoD for how to handle CUI and how to handle different things like that. And I'm going to have to, if they don't get trained, they can't get into. We're going to have to separate in our portals our CMMC clients from our regular clients so that there's no way anyone can get to them. So I could have a group of just say only Tony and I and John or something like that can get to those CMMC clients because they have what's needed to do so.
Yeah, so as a company, though, we're not going to have CUI on our network, right?
No.
But we could potentially have access to CUI if we're doing a restore or something like that.
Exactly. Like our tools, some of the tools just look at files. So they're looking at those CUI files and we can get to them.
What other things are out there that are, what other roadblocks will be in there to try to get this done?
I mean, our remote monitoring and management tool can access on the system layer into those computers. So like that server, we would have the only logging we'd have that someone tried to access that server from our team would be that one log in RMM that shows that they went there. It's not going to show in their event viewer if we're trying to extract CUI. So we're going to have to turn that piece probably off and not allow them to get that system level access like that. So there'll be some access restrictions now put on us as a provider because, I mean, as an MSP, you pretty much hand these people the keys to the kingdom when we do this work for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we don't really, we really don't need access to data. I mean, we don't need access to the data.
I agree.
Typically, right? I mean, the only time we would need access to data is if we're migrating servers or things like that, right? At that point, though, I mean, we probably wouldn't do it remotely. We'd probably do it on site. And, the other tools that we have in place would hopefully mitigate that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we'd have to use a little bit more robust out of some of the tools, They're still not paying us, but, Threat Locker has some stuff to block from being able to get certain files and move certain files. And since they're FedRAMP certified, we'd be able to utilize that tool to stop our people from getting into their stuff.
Yeah. Yes. And we kind of do that internally, right? I do that now internally. I don't allow people to connect to my computer from the network using Threat Locker network, the network layer support. So you have a list over there, I see. What's in the list?
I'm not answering email, folks. I'm actually going through what's called
what are some of the things we need to do?
gap assessment.
Yeah, so what are our gaps?
What is our gaps? So before I even talk about our gaps, there is, just to go through this assessment, which most of you that's been through NIST 800-171 see this, there's 321 rows of different things to talk about to find your gaps. And I don't know if we've gone through all of them yet, but we've gone through quite a bit in a few long meetings. One of the things is, you know what split tunneling is?
Yes,
So
I do.
we got to make sure split
I
tunneling.
don't think you have split tunneling on for me because when I connect up, all my traffic goes through here.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said in the video.
I was like-
I go, Tony's been complaining about this one, so I don't think I have it.
We don't have a split tunnel right
yeah.
now because I did what is my IP and it tells me when I'm connected to the VPN, it tells me that I'm coming through here.
Yeah, split tunneling for all you laymen out there is when you connect with the VPN.
Yeah.
When you use your internet connection, if you're using your internet connection at your house to go to the internet, but your VPN's still going to your office to get the files and stuff,
Yeah.
that's split tunnel. If it's non-split tunnel, all your traffic would go through your firewall at your office, so your internet connection would look like, just like he said, your IP, like you're coming from
Yeah.
your office. So yeah,
So it's like it's basically a VPN where everything goes through it. So
lots of scanning. Like there's just so much about, it's just, again, like NIST, but some of our gaps is that to make sure certain things are scanning and that we're having log retention for 90 days, which
well,
is
we do have a SIM. Are we not keeping logs for 90 days?
it's I don't want to say garbage in, garbage out, but first in, first out, so as soon as it fills up, it goes out. So they're not retaining, we're not paying them to retain those logs, which, by the way, I have a quote coming to you for that.
Okay.
So, let's see here.
So for you guys that are looking at a SIM, right, that's a thing that gets all this network traffic and can take all these system logs and everything and keep them in one repository so that we have them.
Another gap I have is that, well, I don't think it's a gap, but I need to ensure we're doing it, is how fast we are responding to like critical vulnerabilities, high vulnerabilities. I just don't think it's in our customer policies. It's not in our policies, I don't think. So I gotta double check. So that's just a highlight.
Well, I mean, if we have a critical vulnerability or something like that, I mean, we respond right away.
Yep.
So
Oh, this is a good one. Oh, I don't know if I want to say this on this. Okay. So, our SIM provider,
yes,
they will do an incident response test on our people. So they'll pretend like there was a problem here and send it in and see what everybody does.
oh,
So like instead of just like sending like, oh, Susie logged in from Russia, like they could send in something more like someone from Russia's in your computer and see what people do. So don't tell anybody, okay? But
Yeah, okay.
but it's pretty cool. It's something free that they'll do for us.
well, yeah. I mean, that's just basically it's the same thing as a penetration test, right? They're
Yeah,
they're
fake.
try to create a fake incident to see if we respond.
But I think that's pretty cool to
Yeah.
see what people do, because
Yeah.
I know a couple I'd like to see what would happen
Yes,
if it landed on their
absolutely.
desk.
You know what I would do, don't you?
Call me.
I'd hang up on them. Hey, nobody in my computer. I know that. How do I know? Because I know I have Threat Locker and I can see everything that's happening in my computer.
Here's another one. Did you know for NIST, the reuse of identifiers? So like say your computer name,
Yep.
let's just say it's Tony's computer.
Yeah.
You can never reuse that again for up to 10 days or 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So like, we've renamed a few things the same name that it was before. You can't do
Well, that's
that.
different. So the host name can't be the same name.
Nope, for up to 10 years.
Oh, wow.
When you change out computers.
That's a lot of work, right? You swap out a server and now you got to repoint everybody to a new server.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good reason to go to the cloud.
I mean, it was great. I mean, it was great back. It's still great to keep the same name, keep the same IP, and everything goes to it. There's a few.
That's why things are so
caveats.
much more complicated, right? For the government. I mean, it's like makes it so much more complicated.
Period of inactivity. We already do 30 days, so I mean, I think the NIST was 900 on that, or 90 days on that. So like, password changes requirements need to be defined. 16 character passwords now.
That's fine. That's not
16.
unreasonable.
No, I was thinking about doing that, and then since we use Duo,
Oh boy.
yeah, since we use Duo, we have MFA on everything, that we could do the 16, and then just don't expire or expire after 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. It's, so I mean, so we have some gaps, right? So that's what we're working through, and then what'll be the process after that? So we'll kind of get all these gaps closed, and then find somebody to certify us.
Yep. So
And then we're done for 10 years.
Yep, and yeah, I think it's 3.
3 years.
Yep.
Okay.
So that wheelbarrow money that you in another episode had rolled out to your bank, to the super secure bank with the Duo authentication, you're gonna have to go back and get that wheelbarrow money and bring it back over here so
Right.
we get certified.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be good. First off, it shows that a lot of the work that we've done for CIS and stuff like that, our internal team has done, is great stuff. But the only way we prove it is by us telling you, this is going to be the proof.
Yeah.
You know, that we are certified, we are secure. If you want to go with one of the most secure MSPs in this area, we will be one of them.
Yeah. And, and same thing, right? So if you're searching for companies that can do CMMC or help coach with CMMC, we're here. And, we will help you, if you're willing to do what it takes to get there, right? So, if you got a whole bunch of old servers, you're going to have to update those servers, right? That's the bottom line, right? You can't not do it because of what it costs. The same thing is if you got your email in Microsoft 365, right? Just in the regular, not the GCC high, you're going to have to migrate to GCC high. That's the bottom line, right? Or, bring it on premise, but bringing it on premise isn't an answer either because it's not very secure, right? You don't want inbound traffic into your network anymore if you can avoid it. It's just a bad thing. There's no way to keep up with all the vulnerabilities. There's no way to it's just hard. It's really hard to guarantee that nothing's going to get into a Microsoft product that's that's internet facing. No inbound traffic, internet facing at all is what we would strive for.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
So, and we do provide some coaching. We work with another company to provide coaching that's providing coaching to us. And what happens is, we have these gaps. We can identify these gaps and we can help you close these gaps. It's going to cost money, right? And, it's going to cost money for companies that, are running on old technology, that have, if you're a manufacturer and you have CNC machines that are still running Windows XP, Windows NT. I mean, is there a thing called acceptable risk anymore in CMMC?
Negative.
Right? So can't even be an acceptable risk. So then you're going to have to work through that, right? So you can't have an acceptable risk. You used to be able to have an acceptable risk, but
to have
now
FIPS
you can't.
encryption on everything is pretty pricey. Getting the new firewalls and access points and all of that switching.
And so who would be? I mean, is Checkpoint that we use a firewall that's FIPS encrypted?
Not the model we use.
But there is one that
you have to go to the enterprise level.
And then how about Fortinet?
Fortinet is FIPS encrypted on all levels.
On all levels.
Yeah, they put the chip in right away.
See, so there's a good reason to change the Fortinet.
Could be.
What else is there? So, this is just a discussion about CMMC. There's a lot out there. A lot of people are freaking out about it. But, we're willing to help.
We're 100% willing to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do it ourselves so we know what you're being put through.
And we use a coach just like Tony said earlier. There's just so much that changes. I mean, this stuff is changing daily. It could come out next week that MSPs have to be certified.
Right.
It's just, we never know. And like you've said a million times too, we are probably the next industry to be regulated.
Yeah. At some point we might have to be, right. They might do the same thing to us. They might say that, okay, service providers have to meet a certain criteria.
Which I think
they should.
Yes,
and they should. Yeah,
100%.
I'm for it. I'm all for it. If they say, to be the best that we can be, to stop the, the stealing of data and malware and business email compromise, all these things are preventable.
Yeah. I think most MSPs would agree. The ones that don't agree are the ones that are going to get regulated out of the business anyway.
Yeah, and there's a lot of big ones, right? There's a lot of big ones that are in this space, right? The big guys, because they charge a lot, right? And they should, because there's a lot of cost related to being able to do this. But there's also small people out there that need help, and that's the ones we want.
There's tons of responsibility with this stuff.
Yeah,
there's just tons.
So anyways, if you have any comments, I mean, if you found this video useful, and if you have any comments or anything, hit us up in the comments. We'd love to talk to you. We don't have to be running the clock to talk to you. Even if you're just an IT person that works for a company that, needs help with CMMC, give us a call, text us, whatever, and we'll try to help you. Ryan says I have to do the tip of the week, but I'm going to pass the buck to him. You do the tip of the week.
I thought I was getting I thought I was in the hot seat today, and I got
you go with the tip of the week.
I didn't throw this your way just to say what's the tip of the week. Yeah, tip of the week.
I guess the tip of the week is I'll do a tip of the week. The tip of the week is that if you need if you do work and you need to be CMMC compliant, you need to start now. You need to get with somebody that can help you figure out where you're deficient, what gaps you have, and come up with a roadmap to do it so you don't lose the companies that you're working with.
You can't do this by yourself.
Yeah.
We
can't do it by ourselves.
We
not,
can't.
Not at this point.
I've not seen anybody. You just by yourself. Like if I just wanted to take this beast on by myself, you cannot do it by yourself.
Right.
You cannot. You will go absolutely insane, and your hair will look like mine.
Yeah. So we can we can have somebody help us write the policies, right, and things like that. So, but the thing of it is you can't write a policy, and this is another tip of the week. You can't write these policies and not follow them. So you can't have just a book, right, with all the policies and not follow them, just to say, hey, I'm compliant, right? Because if you end up in court, what are they going to say? Do you have that policy? Yeah. Did you follow it? No. Okay. Boom. Done.
John, can you check the tip of the week policy? Are we allowed to have two?
I'll allow it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. It's allowed by the board of directors. Or the producer. The producer allows it.
Go ahead. Go another tip of the week. Go
No,
ahead.
you gave two.
Oh, two tips.
That's what I'm
of the
saying.
week.
You
Oh, I
can't.
thought you had one.
Sometimes you have one, sometimes I have one, but
Yeah.
I've never given two.
So yeah, it's awesome. Well, it led into another thing when you said something that got me
Don't
thinking.
do it yourself.
Yeah, don't do it yourself.
Oh, you could
right?
try to do it yourself. I'm just saying it's not easy.
Yeah, but you might as well grab policies and stuff from somebody who already has it,
Yes, agree with that.
and then
Yep.
adopt those policies.
Yep.
So
Just
and
do 'em.
does sorry guys, I'm going off here. Another tip of the week. Does our compliancy manager have CMMC in it yet?
Yeah.
So we already have a.
That's where we're uploading our documents.
All
and
right,
stuff.
so we already have a tool in house called Compliancy Manager that we're using to gather all this stuff, and then that also helps us align with the other framework.
Exactly. And then the coaches, the best part about the coaches is that, again, they have their ear to the ground. So when it comes time to be certified, someone to come look at our stuff and all of that great stuff, they know what they're looking for.
So they'll pre-certify us before we.
Yeah,
real
she's pretty
certified.
much writing the policy, the real policy for us. You
Yep.
know, she's just taking the stuff we're giving her because that policies that come from there are just templates and they're not the
Yep.
greatest. So she's making it right for us.
Cool.
And for us. Tailored.
All right, that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we hope to see you in a couple weeks.
We'll see you in a few weeks where we'll be CMMC certified.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Yeah, right. Don't put this out until
Yeah.
middle of 26.
Cool.
Unique computing solutions. Your IT challenges solved.